And oh, Hannah's here. Hey, Hannah. I saw Hannah at the ball game on Friday.
Go
Yeah.
Rainiers.
Go, yeah. Go. Rainiers needed a little bit more than a go Rainiers. They got that was a hard match for them, I think. Versus Sacramento. So, uh, welcome everybody. For those of you joining us now or on the recording to the Human-Centered Ownership and Measured Excellence course. We are working our way through the house. We've finished the lower levels, and last week we went upstairs to check out the community room. And I don't know if y'all can see the image here. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. But I tried to include a lot of what you all were saying that you would bring to make the room feel a little bit more welcoming. And got the dice here. I think Sean, was that your suggestion to bring the D&D dice? Got the
Oh,
pride
oh
flag
yeah,
over here.
100%.
100%. Nice. Put them over there on the table. Somebody suggested pizza. I even got was that you, Earl, that were saying that you're going to bring the engine part?
I can't remember saying that, but I was, yeah, questioned. It might be mine. It makes sense.
Somebody said they would bring it as it's a good talking piece.
Yeah.
So we got like the little mini model version over here. We got the puzzle over there on the left side, and then the flowers in the middle. I think those were Charity's suggestion to bring some nice flowers. So they really bring the room together. Okay, so that is from last time, the community room. Right now, we're going to head over to the access room as we're moving through the letters of cares. And the focus of the access room is accessibility. You can see there's some kind of considerations for that here already in the room. But if everybody wants to click on that meeting link, I'll put it into the chat as well. Hey, Debbie. It's nice to see you here live. Good work getting all caught up. Okay, so accessibility is important, and we're going to talk about why today and kind of how we can do that. This room is a room that works for everyone. To think about our classrooms, our digital classrooms as well. Um, should work for everyone without anyone having to ask. We're going to be running the Canvas Ally tool today. They have something called the Accessibility Report, which you can see I have it already over here on the left. So if you are in a course, maybe you can bring up one of your own courses and see if your accessibility report is there. If it's not, I can show you how to turn it on. It's the same way that we did the simple syllabus in week one, but we can do that later. And so basically, you're going to look at your own course and then run the checker, the accessibility report, and then it's going to check to see things like headings, alt text, link text, color contrast, and captions, all things that are maybe not necessary, uh, but definitely like maybe not necessary for you, but for other people, it will be necessary, right? Um, Having alt text for your images is necessary for people who are unable to see very well. And so if they're reliant on a screen reader, for example, then like if they're just running through the course like this and they're just listening. Oh, let me go ahead and change my sound here. This is going to be loud. Hold on. I already heard it for 1 second. So
5 COP Preview Accessible Entry. Accessibility and Universal Design for Learning. The room that works for everyone.
so some people have to use this. And so if your image in your course doesn't have an alt text, then it's just going to skip it. So, okay, we're getting ahead of ourselves here. And so let's go ahead and start with our attention grabber here at the beginning. Um, you all should know what it is already if you've been in the course. So for this DigiPad, we're going to think of one thing that one thing someone created that instantly made your workplace more accessible. Okay. A ramp, uh, like in the physical space, a ramp, or maybe it was a captioned video, a clearer form, a quiet space could even be something that is helping for people who get overstimulated. A redesigned handout, anything that removes a barrier. So if we're thinking about access, we're taking down things that can get in the way. Um, and so if you want to go ahead and add that in, you can go ahead and press plus here inside of the canvas. I'll also drop the link in there directly to the DigiPad. And wow, this one's already got a lot of entries in here. I'm going to give it a minute here. I'm going to play another song about home. And then after that minute, while you guys all are all filling that in, we'll come back and look at a couple of them, okay? So we're about halfway through this course. We're going to listen to Madness, Our House.
Father wears his Sunday best. Mother's tired, she needs a rest. The kids are playing up downstairs. Sister's sighing in her sleep. Brother's got a date to keep, he can't hang around. Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our house. It has a crowd. There's always something happening, and it's usually quite loud. Our mum, she's so house proud. Nothing ever slows her down, and a mess is not allowed. Our house in the middle of our street. Our house in the middle of our house in the middle of our street. Something tells you that you've got to move in the middle of our. Father gets up late for work.
All right, I think that's good. The madness. Okay, so I like what I'm seeing here. Brenton, is he in here? I don't think he can make. I think he teaches at this time. So what's up, Brenton? If you're watching the recording later, um, over here working hard, getting that 99. Look at that, 99%. That's a great score. That means that 99% of Brenton's course is accessible. There's just one thing to fix. Dion's not here. He's our lead for this community of practice, but he teaches during this time. So students first. But it looks like if you can see this image here, oh yeah, there we go. Zoom in a little bit. He got the before screenshot for his week 4 instructional videos, and then it looks like he added kind of similar to what we've got going on in this course, where you've got the banner that you can click on and then it opens it up. He was asking me about that last week, and for those that are not familiar, those are called accordion menus. Accordion, like how you would open and close an accordion. And so I use those in this course, and I'm going to probably start doing it in most of my courses, just because it it puts the information into chunks that are it's easy to get overwhelmed when you have a whole big page. But if there's like little sections where you can like click them open and close, I feel like it's pretty nice, and it gives you control over how much information you're getting at one time. Rachel, we will be trying to add that to the in-service how to session on how to do that. And if for some reason you can't make that, then I can meet with you and show you how to do it. I'm going to be trying to work on something where faculty. Like I met with who did I meet with last week? It was I think it was Charity. So I met with Charity, and she uses a specific template in her courses, and so I created something on ChatGPT where she can put the course like page as it is now, and then it will output the HTML in the format that she likes. So I'm trying to work on something like that for the college where if I'll put it up on our LibGuide, and if anybody wants to like copy that kind of similar style, you would just copy your page, or you would copy your assignment or quiz into that, and then it will output the HTML so you can um, have it look a little bit more interesting or engaging. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go through a couple more of these. So, this one. Oh, okay. Sally is flexible options for participation. Very nice. It's always good to, give the person give your students a chance if they aren't able to make the live sessions. This is Ken. Wait. Sorry, this is my nightmare here that Ken put this image here. This is something that made your workplace more accessible. Did you clean those up, or I'm confused on what's going on here, Ken?
Sorry, I was muted. So at the front of the classroom, there's a bunch of loose cables laying on there, and we just got some, I guess it's Velcro kind of stuff to lay down and attach to the carpet and hold the cables down so we can't trip over them.
Nice. Yeah, that's good. I would like to see that once those are in use, because yeah, this is that's tough and seems dangerous. Who who just put a picture of a cupcake?
Well, I did.
Okay, all
Good, great.
right.
Yeah. So something that makes you feel welcoming and, so it
Okay.
wasn't quite accessible, but
Maybe like different kinds of this has got the gluten free, and this is
there you go. That's right.
vegan.
That's
There you
what I
go.
meant. Yeah.
And then we've got headphones over here. This one is nice for the accessibility, like in the physical space. Tracy, give me shout outs to that one. And Anne Marie, we're all a work in progress out here. That's what this whole course is trying to figure out where we're at and where we need to go. The last one from Sean is here. I try to allow my students freedom to complete an assignment however they want, as long as the outcomes and academic integrity are maintained. Nice. I like the way that you put that, and that's a good segue into what we're going to be talking about today when I present the content. We're going to be looking at UDL, Universal Design for Learning, and so that it talks about giving students freedom to complete it as long as they reach the outcome. So, okay, great wall there, everybody. I liked all of your submissions, and I'll try to figure out. I don't know how I'm going to add that stuff to the room. So if anybody has any ideas about how to do that, pop them in the chat. I'm going to go over our focus for today, though, now. So as I said, we're going to see where our course is now, and we're going to try to fix one thing. We're going to see UDL as 3 ways to reach every student, and that's hopefully not going to be extra work that's bolted on to a finished course. It's something that you would like, integrate in while you're working on your courses. And then so by the end, we'll be able to read your own course's accessibility score. So that's our big takeaway, is to run the accessibility report for those people who have not done that. And then for the people who have, then maybe it's just a reminder that it's there, and maybe we'll talk about in more detail different ways that you can use that information. And then we're going to talk about the 3 UDL principles. And then we're going to leave with course accessibility percentage and one quick win. And we'll know how to do our week 5 inspection. So we're applying and analyzing responsibility here today. And if you were aligning it with your skill standards, research, evaluate, and obtain required equipment, system, tools. System, I would say like a UDL is kind of a system. or tool that you can use. And then we're applying is a lot of it aligns with the course design checklist here. And of course, the CARES framework as we are in A for access. All right, why is this not working? Fill out the form. I've got a form here. This is a little bit different than what we've done so far. This is if you are if you're interested in doing this kind of form stuff, it's almost like a entry ticket. You can give one of these to your students just to see kind of where they're at in terms of whatever you're trying to teach. And so we're talking about accessibility here. And so you're going to enter your email address here, and then you're going to go through. There's 5 questions total, after you put in your email address. And they're going to look something like this. So this is just your best guess. You don't need to use AI to find the answers for you. We're just trying to see kind of where you're at with your accessibility. So the example here, a deaf student emails you emails that your lecture videos have no captions. What's the best practice? Just maybe we can do the first one together. What would be a best practice for if your student emails you and tells you that your videos don't have captions?
You can turn on the AI companion nowadays, right? Or use something similar feature when you're recording your sessions.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. I like that. That would be like adding accurate corrected captions and a transcript. That that's something that you could do it manually, or as Tarleton mentioned, if you're using AI, like I give my I give these sessions in Zoom because I've got the little Zoom transcript going. And then when I put this over into YouTube, then it already has that the transcript embedded in there. So I'm gonna give you all maybe 2 minutes here to finish up this one, just to go ahead and put your guesses in there on how you would handle these situations. And then once we're done with that, we'll move on to present the content. And if anybody's got any questions, always feel free to either hop off mute or um, put it in the chat.
Mother has to iron his shirt, then she sends the kids to school. Sees them off with a small kiss. She's the one they're going to miss in lots of ways.
Music might be hard for to think. All right, how we doing? Does anybody need any extra time? I'll let y'all if you need extra time, it's there. You can just take your time to finish it, either while I'm talking or um, after we get done. But I'm going to move on now to present our main content here for this week. And I'm just going to kind of read through this one and talk with you all about UDL. So, how many people in here have heard of UDL? A show of hands or a I have or a thumbs up. Nice. Earl, I see you. See the thumbs up from Sean, Tracy, Elizabeth, and Marie, Derek. All right. The nurses, Sally and Celiana. Okay. So yeah, there's Universal Design for Learning is basically a way when you're creating your course to create it so that everybody is can access it, everybody can learn and dare I say enjoy your classes. Um, so here it says the accessible entry has wide doorways, light at several heights, and no step to trip over, and no cords to trip over. Nobody has to ask where the ramp is because the way in already works for everyone. Accessibility is that for your courses. Every student can get to the content and show what they know without a special request. UDL, Universal Design for Learning, is how you build it that way on purpose. So access is designed in from the start rather than bolted on afterwards, which I kind of talked about earlier. Most access problems are not about the ideas in your course. I'll read that again. Most access problems are not about the ideas. It's about getting to the ideas. A student on a phone might have might be in your course. Your course might look great on the computer, but when they go on the phone, it's a completely different experience, and maybe they aren't able to access all the things that you thought they could. Or a link breaks after a course copy and the assignment is gone. How many times have you made a copy and then either like the image comes in weird or it's linked to a quiz on the course that somehow didn't get. Canvas is very finicky sometimes with the copies, and so um, Brady will call me up and be like, "Hey, what what's going on here?" And we have to go and try to figure out like what did Canvas do that made it hard for this instructor to run their course. Panopto doesn't work well on phones, Hannah says in the chat. Restrictive file types or a scanned PDF, right? If you're scanning a PDF, it's great that you have the digital version, but some people can't access it just if it's just a digital version. It's just like an image. Or a video that has no captions for a student that can't hear. I had the student before in my ESL class that was deaf, and so did to have the ASL person come to all of the classes, and I had to make sure that, if I had a video, that it had the caption on it for them. So UDL comes down to giving students more than one way in. So down here, I've got from the CAST is the name of the organization that came up with Universal Design for Learning. So if you wanted to see this, this is the PDF that breaks down their three things. And so the first one here, design multiple means of engagement, design multiple means of representation, and design multiple means of action and expression. And you can see in the image here, they explain it that like there's different parts of the brain that get activated when these types of considerations are met. And so an example of, speaking of access here, design options for welcoming interest and identities. Optimize choice and autonomy, optimize relevance, value, and authenticity, nurture joy and play, address biases, threats, and distractions. So, that's something that I'm, if I'm being transparent about we're starting off the course where I'm kind of letting y'all choose how you would want to answer this question, and what that means to you, and as a way to kind of, share your identity with the group. Um, we're talking about observation week. What song would you do at karaoke? Is kind of fun and playful, but still, related to what the overall subject or topic of the lesson is going to be. If we're looking for representation, design options for perception, support opportunities to customize the display of information, multiple ways to perceive information, and represent a diversity of perspectives and identities. So if we look at our college-wide learning outcomes, they talk about this one, right? Uh, and so that's one thing. Last week we talked about the Washington course design checklist, and in that one, you can see that even in the first one, let's see here, sense of belonging, course materials are relevant to students, acknowledge the lack of representation and stereotypes. So course materials include positive representation, reflecting multiple identities, communities, and perspectives. So you can kind of see that over here. Talking about representation. And then the last one, just to finish off here for the example, some design options for interactions, vary and honor the methods of responsive navigation and movement, optimizing access to accessible materials and assistive accessible technologies and tools. Another thing about these accordion menus is that, they start out all closed, but if I were to go through and use the immersive reader, you can see that nothing gets affected as they're going through and using the reader. It will just read it from top to bottom. And there should be, let me see here. Maybe they don't have it in this one, but should be something where you can related to the headings. Like if I have this is the title, and then this is heading number 1, this is heading number 2, you can there's some sort of keyboard shortcut that you can do so it can go through and go to the next headings. Okay, so that PDF is there if you want to open it up in full, and then if you also want to download it, you've got that one, and then you just hit the little download button. And if I were to take it one step further than what they've already done, they've broken it down into these 3. So if I look here at engagement, designing for multiple means of engagement, the engagement is kind of like the why of learning, right? So multiple ways to spark interest and sustain effort, offering real choices, connect to work and why it matters, and give students options for how do they manage their own focus and persistence. So this is the reason, give the students a reason to stay in the room. So why am I here? Representation is what? So this is the multiple ways to take in the information, audios and visuals, right? If you're familiar with Notebook LM, I think I talked about that in this course already, or I guess it's called Gemini Notebook now, but where you can go in and you can turn like here's an example. I don't know if y'all got this email, but they sent it out to Transitional Studies. There was a article from Achieving the Dream on Clover Park Technical College, and talking about their ESOL and GED HSE prep. Yeah, Elizabeth Stewart in here representing Transitional Studies. But so this is an article, and it's not that difficult to read through it. But maybe I would prefer to see it as a slide deck. So I just put this one into Notebook, and it took all the stuff out. And here's our 1% to 20% is how we've grown from students starting out in transitional studies and then moving into credit-bearing programs. I don't know if I like that graphic. Let me see if this graphic came up with something better. But anyways, having different options for you know, understanding, learning the material. Uh, they have the video in there. People
Community
say I want to watch a
colleges are
video.
currently navigating a compounding set of pressures. Traditional
This is
This
the
was all,
notebook, Ronald?
yeah, this is Notebook. So all I did was I put in this link to this article, and then I just literally clicked this button, video overview, and I said make a cinematic video, and I click generate.
Ah, I will try this. And this is all available through our Outlook?
Oh, I wish. This is Google.
Yeah.
So
What is
this is
it?
Google's Gemini is their their
Oh,
AI. And so it's just one of their Gemini tools.
okay. You pay for this one?
You are able to access it, but I do have a paid version.
Oh,
So,
okay.
oh yeah, there we go. So Leona says you do have to pay for more videos if you want more.
Okay.
So the videos, but I think you can do, I'm not going to say nearly unlimited, but I feel like you're able to create a lot of slide decks. So if that's the way you want to do it. The podcasts are also really good. It sounds like two people on a real podcast.
Interesting. Okay, thanks.
Sure. And I'm sure we're going to cover that in more detail in the sustainability week as we talk about tech and AI. Um, and then Cilian in the chat, the slide decks are great for students and you can share the notebook with them. Yeah, that's another huge thing. I don't do that very often, but if I click this share, then anybody with this link should be able to access this. Put this in the chat. You should be able to get into this notebook. And then in addition to creating all of these things, which I don't think y'all are able to do when you access the notebook, you can interact with this in the same way that you would like a chat GPT or um, Copilot or something. And you can say, tell me more about CPTC. And then it will go through and look just at that source and give you a response related to that. So, okay. Last thing here, the action and expression. That was that third one. This would be like the how. So multiple ways for students to show what they know. Kind of a callback to what Sean put on the board there. When one rigid format is the only option, you're measuring the format, not the learning. In some cases, you do have to do that, right? That's, for the exam, they're going to need to do it that specific way. But if I'm doing like a welding class and I just need somebody to show me that they know how to weld, it doesn't really matter like what they're welding, uh, as long as they're able to meet the outcome that they can weld a T-joint or whatever they would do. So, okay, and then the screen reader, if you've never heard your course read out loud, it's worth picturing a screen reader moves by headings first. So a page with no real headings is a wall of text. And then also I was saying reads the alt text for the images. So an undescribed image is just image, image, image. And then it will read link text. So if you say click here, then it's not really going to give a meaningful link for them to click. And these are pretty small fixes. And I'm going to show you how you can use Ally, especially for the alt text. It was a barrier for faculty to go in and add alt text to all of their images, right? So you have to think about, oh, what is this image? How do I describe it so that somebody who can't see it can understand it? And so they now in Ally, which is what I'm just about to talk about, they have a alt text generator. And so if you click open the image, it's got that little red circle in the bottom left. If you click on that, opens up the image in Ally, and then there's a button. And we recently turned it on, like a couple months ago. And so there's a button that you can click, and it will automatically create the alt text for you. So, okay. Speaking of Ally, Ally is built into Canvas. Next to your files and pages, you see a small colored gauge that scores how accessible each item is, and your course has an overall accessibility report. So that's this one here. And just to show you, just so that you know, it's this one. Maybe y'all know this little red gauge. Um, and so that's Ally. That's part of the Ally service that we have on our Canvas. It tells you exactly what's wrong and walks you through fixing it, including automatic alt text. So I was just talking about that drafts a description you then read and correct. Yeah. The speedometer. Yeah, nice. Thank you. Yeah, we want our speedometers to be in the green. We trying to go fast over here. Okay, and then just very quickly, maybe you've heard the ADA, or maybe you've heard of a WCAG, WCAG. I'm not going to explain those. I have the links down here if you want to look into more detail about that. But basically, the law is ADA Title II, and the technique standard is WCAG 2.1, and then AA. And so these are kind of when you're hear about accessibility. If you heard about there was a letter from, it was the DOJ that said, like, everybody, if you're working in a public institution, then you need to make sure that your material is WCAG compliant, is what they say. WCAG compliant means that you are following all of these standards. Okay, so let's see what it stands for here. Web Content Accessibility Guidelines. Okay. So they're just guidelines on how to make sure that your material is accessible. Here's the introduction. I want to know where the actual like list of, okay, how to meet them. So text alternatives, guideline 1. This is talking about provide text alternatives for any non-text content that can be changed into other forms people need, such as large print, braille, speech, symbols, or simpler language. And then it gives a list of the techniques. Time-based media, audio only and video only. So it gives you like all of these things to consider as you're working through your course. And a lot of this here, you just, oh, this is a lot. A lot of this is part of the course design checklist. So there's already a checklist that's kind of works through these things. And if you need a course on this, remember we have the framework course, framework for faculty and student success, which is still accessible. And I feel like somebody's going through it right now. I just got a couple assignment pings from this course. If anybody is interested in that course, it is here, the framework course. Okay, we got the question here in the chat. How do we get the report to show up in the hamburger menu? So let's go ahead and I think we're there. So I'm gonna give you this guidance right now. It's perfect timing. So the first person to open up their course and tell me their accessibility percentage, and then I'll pull their course up live. Yeah, put it in the chat. If you can get into the accessibility report, if you already know how to do it, then do it. And then what did I just do? Whoa. I just hit a button that I've never hit before, and it completely changed the look of my page. That's crazy. That was weird. Okay. Okay. So, all right, we got who are you under? The name says nurses. So I see you, 63%. Oh, okay, Charity. Okay, that's what I thought, but all right. So let's see. Charity, I'll bring up your course if you just copy the HTML at the top.
Okay.
And then while Charity's getting that one in there, let me show you how to put it over here on the left. So this is the navigation menu on the left side. If you remember, if you go down to settings and then where it says here navigation. So settings, navigation, and then if it is not turned on, it will be under this where it says here add a link. So you would just find it and say, let's say it's like way down here, and you're like, I don't want to drag that all the way up. You could always just click these three dots and click enable. And what that's going to do is going to take it and put it down here at the bottom of the list. And also, real quick, I feel like this is new, but there is a add a link button here for anybody who wants to Rickroll their students. You can just put that Rick Astley YouTube video right there and say something like important document, and then you can just get lots of your students to click on it. But no, you can, let's say, you're working with Cengage or Pivot Point or something like that, and you want to give a direct link to that platform, you can do that here. If you add in the link here and say, this is Pivot Point, and then you click add, it will add that link over here on the left, and then they can just very quickly access things from the navigation menu. So it's not really the focus of what we're doing, but just I saw that there, and I just want to make sure you all know about that. So, okay, accessibility report is on the top, and so now I'm going to click save, and then once it refreshes, I should see it over here on the left. So this is the accessibility report. I'm going to bring up charities as well, just so that we can see from a different angle if it allows me to. Okay, nice. All right. How we doing? Okay, you're 63, I'm 78. In the chat, what do we got? 80, 44. Hannah. What do you got, a bunch of images in there or
Yes,
okay.
exactly. Older
Okay.
content. So I'm like, do I just like delete it or and then recheck it? I don't know what the best way going forward. So I'd have to go into images, right?
Well, yeah, so let's look here. And so I'm gonna just explain this one real quick, and then we can look at if images are anybody's problem, that I'll show you the quick easy way to fix that. So all right, if I click on the accessibility report, it gives me the score. The 78% means that out of all the content that's in my course, so in this home course, I have 108 things. I've got 48 images, 23 Word documents. This is all the inspection documents. I've got 21 assignments. I've got 11 discussions, 3 pages, a presentation, and 1 PDF document. So that's what I have. If I click view here, I can see, it gives me my my heaviest hitters here at the top. Why do I have a 0 on about home? What's wrong with my page here? Let's see. So if you see something and you see the score and you're like, ooh, 0%, I got to fix that. And then it should give you a preview and then tell you what's wrong. It says this item contains text with insufficient contrast. Okay, so I might not have done the colors right on the about home page. Let me look at this real quick, because I feel like it's structured. Oh, it might be this kind of blue. This is a lighter blue than it should be. I feel like, where if you look at this first one, it's kind of like dark. The basics for contrast here, everybody, is you want dark text on a light background or light text on a dark background. That's the basics. You can see what that looks like here with this white. I also, make these little boxes here so that it's a little bit different from the background. This one's got the white background. So I'm not going to focus too much on that. I can go and I can look at that later. Week 1 home meeting. It looks like all the meetings for the first 3 weeks. I really think it's that this blue. I thought I changed this blue to a darker one, but I guess I didn't end up making the changes to the course. So let's see. I've got a inclusive syllabus, living room. What is this? The PDF is scanned. And so I basically, I just kind of like look through. Oh, I know what this is. All right. So remember what I was telling you all about Notebook earlier? Notebook's really nice to make the PowerPoint slides. Like it'll make a slide deck for you, but it's not really making like PowerPoint slides in like that. This is like text that's editable. These are all just images. So just think about this is an image, this is an image, so each page is just one big image. And so um, Notebook, like straight out of Notebook, is not accessible. And I should have been better than this. I think I was trying to get these extra things in here last minute for this course. But what I would do for this, let's see. So scanned PDFs are images. So this is almost essentially like a scanned PDF. Applying OCR adds a hidden text layer, making the content accessible without changing the appearance. Let me see if I can do this, because this would also be new if you can do, we call OCR is, I think, optical character recognition. Basically, like it looks and it says, "Oh, this is text. I can extract this as being text and say organize around big ideas." Another thing that I was doing when I was using Notebook a lot was I would take the slides and then I would put them into an AI. I think I was using Claude at the time, and then I would say, "Can you make alt text for each of these pages of this PDF?" So that, and then I would go into Adobe Acrobat and I would click on the page and I would click on to add an alt text. No, sorry, I would do it in PowerPoint. I would save it as a PowerPoint and then I would open it up in PowerPoint. Let's see here. So for example, if I take this one and I download this PowerPoint, I can come in and if I have AI create the alt text, I would just right click and then view the alt text and then just paste it in every time, so that at least if somebody's using a screen reader, it will catch the description of each of the pages. So it wouldn't exactly, I mean, it depends on what prompt you use and how how you get the output from the AI. But for this one, it would be like a slide that's titled "An Overlooked On-Ramp" with the subtext, "Creating pathways to support adult education students and strengthen strategic enrollment." And then it'd be like uh, a picture of a bridge that's halfway completed with a blue line coming off it. Like it's so hard to think about like how to describe it. And so that's where we can utilize AI to help out. And then if you see it and you're like, that's way wrong, then you can always, it's much easier to correct something than to try to like think about it out of your mind. Let's see here. It says review and preview before applying. How do I review it? I'm just going to apply it and let's see what the score does. Okay, let's see in the chat. I'll fix the images I actually used. That's right. That's a good idea. Stick with the ones that you know. And what's really nice is it's not going to work. What is this? Denied request has expired. That's too slow. That's rude. Okay, let's look at this one. UDL guidelines.png. This is 23%. Okay, yeah, so here we go. This is a good example. So let's say I'm looking at this this image from earlier. I don't have the alt text for it now, but I can go over here and this is that new button that I was talking to you all about. Oh no, I can't do the magnifier.
That's actually really easy to use. I like that.
Yeah, it's awesome because usually you would have to, once again, like think about it or, copy the image and put it into an AI and say, create the alt text or find some alt text generator. But here they've got it in here and I could say a chart displaying CAST universal design for learning guidelines organized into a 3x3 grid. And so this is like a little bit of a simplified version. I would, rather have this just either typed out or uploaded as a PDF or something like that. But just for basic, like, oh, what is this? What's this image? Then I think that's pretty good. So, okay, that's a little bit about how that works. Let me see what else we got here. So kind of gone all over the place. Let me see if I can get back to where we were. Okay, week 5. All right, so that's how you open up the accessibility report. Make sure that it's there. I showed y'all how to add it there. If it's not, read the overall course score and the 2 panels. Oh yeah, did we go over that? I feel like we didn't get down to that part. I just kind of went straight in. So let me see if I can get back to reality. Okay, accessibility report. And then, so I just went to view, right? And I kind of went down that rabbit hole. But there's also here content with the easiest issues to fix. You can start down that path or fix the lowest scoring content. So like your biggest offenders, be here if you want to start. You could also just come down and see the remaining issues. It seems like most of mine are contrast problems. Oh, all the docs are contrast problem. Oh no, these are pretty good. Let's see. There's one that's 63. That's the PDP. That's just how the PDP was made. I didn't make the PDP. HTML with insufficient contrast. Yeah, we talked about that already. Image does not have a description. Oh, okay. And then what do we got? No preview. Yeah. So let me see. The item has a perfect accessibility score, 0%. What is this? Yeah, I don't know what that means, Curtis. It means there's maybe a bug in Ally. It's not going to be perfect, and there's definitely like we're looking into other options that, Ally is nice. It lets you know what to fix. It's got a couple of things that can fix it in there for you. There's other tools out there that will like just go through everything and then it'll like make all the changes and you just have to like confirm that the changes. And so it's a little bit more automatic, but I don't know if we're going to be going with those options. So I'll come back. Let's look over here into Charity's course. Let's see what the low scoring content in here is. An image. So let's see. Clinical judgment case study. This looks like this one can almost be decorative. So if it's not necessary for the students to see the image, you don't have to put a uh, alt text. I mean, this one, it would be nice for the people who can't see that well to be able to know, okay, this is the clinical judgment case study. It almost kind of serves as like a title for the thing. Yeah, Tracy.
So this is something I've struggled with is with alt text. Um, providing alt text in my course where a like program outcome is being able to identify microscopic structures. Is that I've gone back and forth with providing alt text as changing a program outcome because I know that when I've talked with Sarah from the Disability Resource Office, that's kind of what it, I mean, accommodations come down to is whether, as far as if they're reasonable or not, like, does it change course outcomes? And sometimes for my course, alt text does. And so,
Mm,
I mean, like I can describe an image, but ultimately, like if they can't look through a microscope and identify it,
mm,
then they can't meet my program outcomes.
yeah, that's a good point. And I think it's pretty nuanced
Yeah.
there. You know, there is that element of accessibility, but then also I think they need to know, right? That certain way. So maybe there is a way that you can do it, that you can put in alt text where it doesn't give the information that, that they need to be able to know how to find on the
Hmm.
image.
Yeah.
Um, it might have to, like I don't know what that looks like, but that might be something that maybe you can ask AI and say like, hey, I'm trying to put an alt text, but I don't want to give the answer. How could I
Hmm.
do that? And then, you know, try to see if AI can figure it out.
Hmm. Yeah. I'll give that a try and see what happens.
Cool. Okay, and then let me see. I'm just catching up here in the chat. Derek saying that YouTube videos embedded in a PowerPoint need alt text. Oh, interesting. Yeah, and real quick, we're talking about Canvas mostly here, but there is an accessibility checker type thing inside of PowerPoint. And the way that I got there is, I just right clicked and I went an image and I said view alt text. You can literally do that with any image. And then it opens up this accessibility tab up here. And then if you click this check accessibility, you can see that this is missing 15 slide titles and it's also missing 15 alt texts. And so I can click on this and I can come in here and I can add in titles and overlink, or not, and overlooked off ramp. And then you can go in and you can add all those things in there in PowerPoint. So tagging a PDF, that is something that we should add for in-service because I don't have enough time to talk about that today, unfortunately. But
I think I figured it out. I'm gonna try.
oh, okay. Well, let us know. Okay, let me just finish up here. So yeah, this should have been first, how to turn it on. Okay, common issues. We talked about alt text, color contrast. That's the one that I need to go in and fix. Headings, scan PDFs. That's the one I just went over. On uncaptioned media and tables without headers. This one, y'all will know as you're going through your simple syllabus. If you have the table in there and it doesn't have a header, then it's not going to pass the simple syllabus accessibility report. So, guess you gotta have those headers if you want them to be accessible. All right. So I took a while there for that accessibility report, but I just wanted to make sure I went through everything with y'all. If y'all go through your accessibility report, find your lowest scoring item, and look for the low hanging fruit, right? So if you've got 100 things to fix and you have like a 67, then maybe doing another alt text will bump it up to a 68, right? It's like pretty easy to, especially using the AI alt text generator, to get that number up. And then if you are able to do that, if you're able to go in there and access your accessibility report, we're always curious over here. We're trying to collect data. So if you put your email address in, your score, no judgment, my courses are not 100%, and I'm over here telling y'all that y'all courses have to be 100%. So, whatever it is, just, like that's your starting point for it now. And then you could put in how many course content you have scanned, and then the list, just basically that report from the page. And so you could put those numbers in there. And then maybe later on when we're checking again, you can see if those scores have increased. All right, so this is the last part, the home inspection. This is that work. This was when I was first putting this course together. I was at 38%, and I feel like what was it last time I checked? It's still not where I want it to be, but I'm gonna go in and edit some of those HTMLs, change the color. It's up to 79 now, so always improving. What was that, Anne Marie? Hannah?
I do have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Do we need to go through the whole entire course and fix every image or just things that are visible to students?
Good question. I would say probably just the stuff that's, for students to see. I mean, I don't know. For me, I'm like, I always want to try to get, the highest score, but it takes time. So as long as if the students can see it, then it should probably be accessible, right? If not, add it to the list of things to do. All right, people got to go. Thanks, Elizabeth. The last thing I just want to say, next time we're talking about assessment and feedback. So hopefully y'all can join. And thanks to everybody who has met with me to talk about their courses. Appreciate y'all. Have a good one. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.